Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Okay. Mr. S.K. Jha welcoming you on GS World platform. So I hope you are doing fine, and after the examination is over, I hope most of the people, particularly belonging to GS World, they are getting ready for their mains examination. So what about the questions? What I personally believe, nothing to be discussed, because most of the questions, they were factual. So only few questions are there where we need some explanation. And moreover, when we discuss the questions in detail, I will give you some clue, some idea, what exactly is going to be the cutoff list. Okay, so let us start with, I'm going to discuss Series A, and questions are very simple, and there is no confusion in fact. Most of the questions, I repeat again, they are factual. If you know the answer, 100% correct. If you don't know, your answer is going to be wrong. So let us now go to the first question, that is question of effect. Which of the following indicators is not used to calculate human development? Now there are basically three things which are considered. Life expectancy, education, and per capita income. Social inequality is not the case. Because when we discuss SDI in detail somewhere, so these three, they have got equal point, 1/3 each. So altogether, the total point, maximum point you can have, it is 1, and yes, 1/3 each. So income, social inequality has no place. It is not the one of the criteria. So correct answer is basically the D. Let us move to next question. It's a very simple. The idea of cultural poverty was given by, known to everyone, it's Oscar Lewis. I personally believe that these questions should not be asked. No test of basically your application, no test of your knowledge, no test of your conceptual clarity, only factual questions are there. So these types of questions, they should not be asked, particularly in commission paper like UPPCS, where you are trying to become officer. Coming back to another next question. During the mid-80s decade of 20th century, the negative aspect of development were discussed at large. Which one among the following was not such important? So now say, all the three, basically this question is not coming under economics basically, but the correct answer is going to be the D1, displacement and rehabilitation of masses. So here, nothing to be discussed. Next we come to this. Number of cities in UP which are covered under the smart city scheme. Now 4 options are there. It's totally factual. Some people, they believe that it should be 12. Some people say it's a 10. So what is the correct answer? So it's lots of confusion there, because proposal was for 12 cities, but finally 10 cities only, they got the approval. And that's why in between these two, A seems to be a better answer. Because proposal came for 12 cities, but it was given approval by the government only for 10 cities. So in between these two, I said, the correct answer is going to be 10. Okay, now come to the next answer. Next question. This is again factual. The Atal Innovation Mission is a flagship initiative set up by, the correct answer is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is totally factual. Next we come to the next question. Now, which one among the following is not covered under Integrated Child Development, ICDP? So ICDP basically, it is covering the first 3. Supplementary nutrition in the age group of 0 to 6 years. Then immunization there, nutrition and health education there. So family planning is not a part of ICDP. So correct answer is D. Correct answer is D. Most of the people, their answer is correct. Now come to this question. Which of the following state governments has started Pashu Kisan Credit Card scheme in year 2020? Now here, loans are being provided to buy, you can say Pashu. Pashu means, Janavar. So yes, banks are providing interest, and moreover, the interest is subsidized by Yeah, Haryana government basically. So rate of interest here is going to be 7%. So the borrowers, they will have to pay only 4%. The rest 3%, they will get subsidy. And this scheme is very good because in case of rural economy, animal husbandry is going to play a major role. Now, rural economy doesn't mean only agriculture. Rural economy doesn't mean only agriculture. Our rural economy is full of potential. A number of measures, other measures can be taken other than agriculture to improve the economic condition of the rural people, and yes, to generate more and more income to the farmers as well as to those people who can be called non-farmers. And among them, the most important, one of the bigger thing is called animal husbandry. Okay, if we can promote animal husbandry. This question came last year, 2018, UPSC mains as well. Okay. By promoting animal husbandry, we can promote the rural economy. I repeat again, our rural economy is full of potential. Unfortunately, our government has failed to do work on that. The rural economy, we normally believe that agriculture. Agriculture is the main. Okay. But other options are there. And one of them, okay, there are so many. One of them is animal husbandry. Another maybe we have discussed, we will be discussing later on, maybe the concept of, you can say, integrated farming, maybe food processing, maybe XYZ. So here, this Haryana government, and since the question came, for the last 28 hours, that's 24 hours, what I have seen, the online application in Haryana for this scheme, under this scheme, it has increased many times. Because people from Haryana also, they were not knowing that this scheme has been initiated by their own government. And yes, Haryana, you know, one of the leading states of the country. So there, it is getting popular, and UPPSC, this question, has made this scheme more popular in Haryana. So more and more people, they are applying online for the last 24 hours. The number of applications, they have increased manifold. It's a very good scheme, and this scheme, I personally believe, it should be initiated by other state government as well. So this is the correct answer. Correct answer is B. Correct answer is B. So let us now go to next question. Okay. Okay. This is also very factual. Okay. Which of the following airport in Uttar Pradesh has been granted international status on 24th of June 2020 by Union Cabinet of India? So correct answer is Kushinagar, near Gorakhpur. So basically, it is going to provide a link, and particularly, small airports, they are going to be linked with Kushinagar, and from there, 4 to 5 countries basically from there, flights are going to be operative very, very soon. It's a very good for the people from the Purvanchal. Okay. Next, come to the next question. Okay. This is a good question. Okay. Say this. According to the report released by Niti Aayog in December 2019 on Sustainable Development Goals India Index 1920, the Uttar Pradesh is grouped under which of the following categories? So correct answer basically performer. Here what is the theme basically? Okay, maximum point is given 100. Okay, maximum point, if it is 100, it means it will be called achiever. Now those beginners, they are coming under aspirant, where 0 to 50, 0 to 50, 49 in fact. If the state has got a score in between 0 to 45, so they will be called aspirant. Okay, more than 50, then it will become performer. Okay, now front runner. The biggest or the highest ranking, it is of Kerala, whose point is 70. Achiever means if the point is 100%. I don't think in the near future any Indian state is going to become the achiever. So achiever means you have got everything when your point become 100%. Okay, coming back to now. Okay, next question. Okay. This question is very good. Okay, what should be see the question again. What should be the total fertility rate of a population in order to reach at the replacement level of fertility? What exactly is the meaning of this question? One word is called, that is called rate of substitution. Rate of substitution. Now, population policy, when we discuss, so if we go for a policy of 2 child, then what will happen to the future population? It is going to remain the same, or it is going to remain it is going to change. Let me now discuss 3 cases. 3 cases. Now, father and mother both belong to 2 different families, and if these 2 people, they are replaced by only 1 child in the future, so then in that case, the rate of substitution will be 2:1. So in that case, what will happen to future population? Future population is going to come down. Okay. Now, if we go for 2 child policy, father, mother, two people belonging to two different family, if they are replaced by two children in the future, so then the rate of substitution will be 2:2. So what will happen in this case, in case of future generation or maybe future population? So most of the people among you, they believe that the future population is going to remain the same, but that is incorrect. Reason being, so if we go for 2:2 or simply 1:1, it means we are assuming the ideal condition. Ideal condition means there is no mortality rate. That is practically impossible. Practically impossible. So that's why we have made the provision of 0.1. Okay, 0.1. So the ideal ratio should be 2:2.1. So that's why this is the correct answer. It's not 2.3. So 0.1 basically, ideal situation will be exactly 2. But we have to make provision, assuming that there has to be some mortality. So 0.1% we have made the provision for mortality. Because assuming that mortality rate is 0, it's practically not possible. And that's why I hope now you got the answer. Correct answer is 2.1. Okay, one question is coming. Okay, sir, हिंदी क्वेश्चन आई होप कि सर हैज डिस्कस, राजू सर की आप वीडियो कल देख लो तो उन्होंने सारे क्वेश्चन डिस्कस किए हैं, तो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से सर ने सब कुछ समझाया है, तो आई होप कि यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल है, तो बेटर टू गो फॉर दैट. ठीक है, कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, which of the following method has or have been used to estimate poverty in India? Okay, so now per capita income, except for this, the rest three is correct. Rest three is correct. Head count ratio means the ratio basically right now is 21.9 according to Nagarajan 29.5. So it means that much of population, okay, or that percentage of the total population, they are below poverty line. So that is the concept of head count ratio. Calorie intake, that is one of the main thing, and third is household consumption expenditure. So these three basically, they are used, okay, to estimate poverty in India. Per capita income, it is never considered. Never considered. Now, 1979, prior to that, okay, nutrition was not the criteria. Prior to that, it was, we are giving the explanation why people of India, they are poor because they lack income. They lack income. So in the absence of income, we people became poor. But there were many cases where number of people, they were getting lots of income. They were generating huge income, but still they were falling below the poverty line. So then in 1979, Planning Commission set up a committee, YK Alag Committee. One again question is there. And then for the first time, he has introduced the nutrition-based concept. And that's why, okay, first, second, and third is correct. Fourth is not the correct answer. Okay, because the per capita income was never considered as one of the measure of estimation of poverty. Okay, now coming back to the next question. Next question. Okay. Next question. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now this is also a very good question. Reason being, see the question. With reference to Ayushman Bharat Yojana, which of the following statement is or are correct? This Yojana provides free health insurance of rupees 5 lakh per person. Okay. The expenses incurred in this scheme is shared between the center and the state, 60-40. Second is correct. Okay. Second is correct. Now, regarding the first. Okay. First says, this Yojana provides, let me see the question, original question. Question number is 121. Okay. 121. Okay. Okay. 5 lakh, this is per person. Correct word is, language is 5 lakh per person. So second is correct, there is no issue because 60-40 ratio in that expenses are going to be distributed in between center and the state. But what about the first one? Correct language is rupees 5 lakh per person. Now if you go through the official document, somewhere it is written rupees 5 lakh per family. Now, per person and per family, okay, are they same or they are different? So in many cases, they are same. In many cases, they are different. Suppose a family is covered under this scheme, and yes, insurance up to rupees 5 lakh, and only one person becomes ill. So then, okay, expenses under this, yes, he will be reimbursed or he will be paid basically cashless up to rupees 5 lakh. So here the individual become the criteria, but all the family members taken together, maximum coverage is 5 lakh rupees. It can be one person per person, okay, as well as per family. So here, the language from here, it is not clear. Okay, not clear. So answer may be different. Answer may be different because here it is written, okay, per rupees 5 lakh per person. Per person. Suppose there are two people in a family becomes ill, and total expenditure on their treatment comes to rupees 8 lakh. Then what will happen? Then okay, they will be paid only rupees 5 lakh. Only rupees 5 lakh. So then this statement becomes wrong. The statement becomes wrong. So better to, the correct word should be per family. Okay, per family, or simply per individual, it will be technically wrong. So better to go for per family. And that's why the correct answer, in my opinion, it should be only two. Only two. Because if we take per person, and suppose I repeat again, there are two people and both become ill, so, okay, and their expenses, they come to rupees 8 lakh. So do you think they will be covered fully 100%? I don't think so. Because maximum limit per family is rupees 5 lakh. So better answer will be per family. And that's why this statement is wrong. Okay. So coming back to now the correct answer. The correct answer is only B. He means, okay, 2 only. Come to the second one. Okay. Now, India aims to achieve the $5 trillion economy by 2022, 24 to 230. Now here, most of the people know that key answer is 225. But when the last year economic survey came, okay, in economic survey, okay, in economic survey, the year mentioned was 2025. Okay, economic survey, 2025. Okay, but 2025 is not the option. But when the budget came, in the budget speech, our finance minister said that, okay, it is going to be 2024. So since 2025 is not the option, okay, among the option, so correct answer is going to be 2024. Okay, so correct answer is 2024. Okay, coming back to now, the next question. Next question. It's a totally factual. Okay. Human Development Report 1997 introduced the concept of Human Poverty Index, HPI, but Human Development Report replaced it with the MPI in this year. Now you can say it is totally done by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and all the time, new indices, they come replacing the old one, all the time. Because regarding the poverty, regarding the quality of the life, regarding the attributes of the life, you cannot become perfect, because there are various attributes of human being. So time to time, according to the changing situation, there are few things they are getting added, yes, few things they are getting deleted. When we discuss MPI, you can see there are 10 parameters. 10 parameters they have been considered. In case of HDI, there are only 3. In the coming days also, we can see new indices or maybe new index where number of parameters, they may be increased, may be decreased, they may be changed, some may be added, some may be deleted. So time will tell. But it is basically 2010 is the correct answer. Okay, next question we are going to discuss. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other as reason. Now the first is, government has launched the National Infrastructure Pipeline for period of 2020 to 30. Okay. It's a mega project, flagship project, and the total investment as reported in the budget 2020-21, it is going to be 103 lakh crore. 103 lakh crore. Okay. Now, but the duration, it is basically, it is not 2020-30. It's a 2020-25. Okay. In the next 5 years, the total expenditure on this scheme is going to be 3 lakh crore. 103 lakh crore. It's a big investment, but the period is going to be 2020-2025 in the next 5 years. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. Now the next phase. Okay. Explanation is, the objective of NIP is to provide equitable access to infrastructure for all. This statement is correct. Reason being, the basic theme of this National Infrastructure Investment Pipeline to make the life easy. Okay. ease of living. That is the basic concept, ease of living for every individual of India. So that's why this statement is correct. The correct answer is, okay, first is incorrect, but second is true. Second is true, the correct answer will be D. A is false, but R is true. Okay, come to the next one. Come to the next one. See this, with reference to the World Bank Ease of Doing Business report, which of the following statement is or oblique are incorrect? Now, Ease of Doing Business report 2020, India's rank was 63 and in 2019 it was 77. Now, both the answers are correct. The answer is correct. In the recent times, what we have seen, in the recent times, our ranking, it has improved a lot. 2020, it was 63. 2019, 77. Then 2018, it's 100. 2017, it was 130. Then 131. So in the last 5 years, there has been a massive jump from 131 ranking to 63. So it means doing business in India, it is basically getting very, very easy. But when we say the same thing from different angle, at least 62 countries are there who are performing better than our country. So that is basically, it's a worrying fact. Moreover, within India also, Government of India has come out with the ease of doing business for every state. So I was expecting this question to come, because the state-wise also doing business is not the same. Some states, many hurdles are there, and some states doing business is very good. So recently, the report has come. So within India, the ranking of Andhra Pradesh is one. Andhra Pradesh is one. And second spot is a state of UP. It was very, very surprising. Particularly when we say the ranking of Odisha, it is the last. 20th. So Odisha people, they are totally confused. Why our ranking is 28th and why UP has moved to second. Yes, it's a very good for Uttar Pradesh, and it seems government is doing the work. At ground level, you can say, it is going to create huge opportunity for you people, because what I personally believe, Uttar Pradesh economically is the most powerful state of India. But practically, performance-wise, the worst performer. Coming back to now, the next question. So both these answers are correct. The correct answer is going to be C. Coming to the next one. It's also factual. Now, matching the list. PM Jan Arogya. Correct answer I can give you. The first. A2 means. So correct answer is D. Sorry, A. So A is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Okay. Coming to the next question. The Development Monitoring and Evaluation Office, which monitors the progress of long-term policies in an attached office under. So definitely Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, you know, it has replaced. It has replaced Planning Commission. So when we discuss the concept of planning, earlier we worked on with 5-year plans. 12 5-year plans, but after 2013, we cannot say any 5-year plan. So what exactly is our approach? Our approach, have we given up the concept of planning? No. But the policy, the policy formulation process has been changed. What is happening basically, we are trying to follow those policies which are mainly followed in the Western country. In finance, it is called, yes, it is said that some disturbance were there. Anyway, so coming back to now. So correct approach is fiscal correction through macro level adjustment through fiscal correction. This concept I will discuss somewhere in the class. So our approach has not changed. Now we have set up, Niti Aayog has set up long-term goals, and that within that we are going to work on small plans. So that is the approach mainly followed in the Western country. So we have given up the concept of 5-year plan, and we are following this concept, and yes, it is coming under Niti Aayog. Monitoring long-term policies. So long-term policies of 15 years, and within that, we are working on small plans. Is that clear now? All are coming under Niti Aayog. This is also factual. Which of the following statement is not correct for National Pension Scheme for retail traders, shopkeepers, and self-employed person? First is, those who are in age group of 18 to 40 years are eligible. That is correct. Okay. If you are in the age group of 18 to 40 years, you can become a member and you will be entitled to get the benefit of this pension. The annual turnover should not exceed 1.5 crore rupees. This limit is also correct. This limit has been set by GST law. Third is, National Pension Scheme members are also eligible. This is incorrect. If you are already member of National Pension Scheme, you cannot become the beneficiary of this policy. And next is, it has a monthly minimum assured pension of rupees 3,000. This is also correct. So correct answer is, according to, is a C. C is the correct answer. Now coming back to next question. With reference to the program Nidhi, which of the following statement is or are correct? The program of Nidhi was started for students to become a startup. That is correct. As far as I remember, last year's budget, not this year, 1st of February 2019, when budget speech came, this announcement was made by the Finance Minister of India. But this is, I hope, mainly for, if I am not wrong, for those students who are doing some technical work, maybe people from technical background, in those people who are doing engineering work. So just check again. And yes, it aims to financially support 20 students to start up each year. That is also correct. So correct answer is first and second. So per year, 20 students, they are going to be sponsored by the government, and this scheme came last year. Now say, this question has come directly from budget this year. If you go through the original budget, means the statement of the finance minister in the parliament clearly mentioned first is, the union budget 2020-21 has focused on rural development with aim of doubling farmer income. First, this is correct. By 2022, and second, the 16 action points announced in the budget is centered around agriculture, irrigation, and rural development. That is also correct. Now, basically, clearly our finance minister has said that these are the measures, 16 measures we are going to take to get the target of doubling farmers' income by 2022. So they are basically the end and they are the means. If you go through the budget clearly, so 16 measures, they are very important for your mains examination as well. So go through the original budget, and among these 16 points comes the concept of Kisan Rail. Yes, so many measures they have been taken. So that is the correct answer. Correct answer is both A and B. Both A and B. This is very important. I repeat again for the mains. Major initiatives taken by the Government of India, 16 measures apart from the agriculture reform. 3 bills they have been passed through the parliament recently. Apart from these 3 bills, yes, go through the original budget, and these 16 points, they are going to be very important for your mains examination as well. So the correct answer we have discussed. Now come to the next one. Next one is, this is actual question. The Travel and Tourism Competitive Index is released by the World Economic Forum. Nothing to be discussed here. Nothing to be discussed. Next is, consider the following events and arrange them in chronological order. Establishment of NABARD 1982. Concept of self-help group, early 90s, Kisan Credit Card 1998, establishment of Rural Rural Bank. It's the oldest basically, 1975. 1975. So correct answer is going to be the A. First this one, then NABARD 1975, 82, then early 90s, just after the new economic policy of 1991, and then it's 1998, Kisan Credit Plan. The correct answer is with reference to the Skill India campaign, which of the following statement is /are correct? First is, Prime Minister has announced the Skill India campaign in July 2015. Okay, this is correct. The main objective of this campaign was to train Indian youth in information technology. Okay, till here, this statement is wrong. Okay. Now, this concept of Skill India development is not only restricted to information technology, but it has basically many implications. And there are various areas where skill development program they are being provided by the government, so that people of India, new generation people, they can take up entrepreneurship as well. Now, one more thing, this Skill Development India program has a direct link with one of your major problems, that is called employment. Because employment in India, they are of two types, wage employment and self-employment. So where is the future of India? Future of India is not wage employment. Future of India is self-employment. The way technology is improving and the way population is growing, it's not possible for the government to provide jobs to everyone, and that too in the government sector. People don't like joining private sector. So it's not possible. These two, basically, they have been discussed in budget as well. So these two are called cross-cutting development. So wage employment is not the future of India. Future of India is self-employment. So let us provide Indian youth some skill so that they can start their own business under Startup India. And yes, most of the programs of the government at present, they are trying to move the country from wage employment to self-employment. So I hope these things we will discuss when we discuss in the classroom. So that's all from economics, I hope. Most of the questions, they were basically factual, nothing to be discussed much. Okay. So I hope now, you people are doing fine, again I repeat. And in my opinion, the cutoff should be around 90. Or better to say, if it is in between, I have talked to many of the people, 86 to 90. Different people, their cutoff band may be different, but in my opinion, it is in between 86 to 90. So if you are approaching 86 or more, yes, be positive, start getting ready for mains as well. And in my subject, what to do and what not to do. So what you have to do, let me discuss what you don't have to do. Start going through the cut and paste material available in the market. You take one book that is written by Mishra and Puri. This is the base book, and go through first two sections, agriculture and industry. So two sections are there, 15 chapters around you can find. And if you go through those two sections in detail, I hope a majority of the questions in the mains in the coming days, they are going to be covered. I hope now, is there any doubt you can ask? I can see the screen. Good morning. Satish Maurya, हिंदी में पढ़ाइए सर, हिंदी में भी पढ़ाऊंगा, अभी टाइम है. सतीश जी, रानी अजय यादव, गुड मॉर्निंग आपको भी. एवरीवन इज कंफर्टेबल. गुड मॉर्निंग सबको गुड मॉर्निंग. वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग. चलिए राजीव, तिवारी जी, थैंक्स अ लॉट. चलिए. तो लेट अस नाउ meet somewhere in the future and get ready for the mains. Thank you.